Hi Pravesh, welcome to our episode of TED-Licious.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for hosting us in Byg Brewski.
Thank you.
Very happy.
Thanks a lot.
So first question is, tell us about yourself.
So my name is Pravesh Pandey. I'm the Chief Belief Officer and the Director Partner in Byg Brewski Brewing Company.
Okay.
I'm very proud to say that I've got approximately 700 employees who are working in this organization. And at the same time, I'm very happy that there are 700 families also who've been taken care of by this wonderful cause of creating the Asia's largest microbrewery.
Awesome. Great. Did you guys notice something? We talked about Chief Belief Officer. Tell us a bit more about that.
Chief Belief Officer is something, it is a personal pet project for me, and I think we all talk about industry, in hospitality, talking about employees, their attitude, their behavior, and we very simply judge people saying that his behavior is not fit or his attitude is not right. And fundamentally, I believe that the belief system is the foundation which can transform a person's attitude and behavior. My job in this organization is to ensure that the belief system of employees, of our family members, is so strong that their attitude and behavior transforms in a certain fashion that they all focus on the core purpose of the organization, which eventually is delivering happiness to this wonderful society.
Wow, great. Am I safe to say that you are the only person with the title in the world?
I really don't know, but I feel that that's an
You never know. Great. So I also have another question. Byg Brewski is all about Byg.
Yes.
Right? The biggest brewery,
right.
The biggest kitchen,
right.
The biggest staff,
right.
Everything big.
Right.
So one question which probably haunts in everybody's mind is, when you have such a big kitchen, you also have world cuisine
Correct.
in that kitchen, right? Now, bringing in world cuisine in there and maintaining the consistency and quality, what do you think are the challenges and how are you tackling them?
So yes, I think that was the biggest challenge. This has by far been the biggest achievement for me. And I don't think so in the last 20 years of my experience, I could ever imagine that one day I'll be actually a part owner of this organization, where I'll be serving more than 200 dishes from the entire global world.
Okay.
And the cuisine here comes from Europe to India to South Africa to Australia to UK to Italy. And it has been a tough challenge. I wouldn't say it's a cakewalk for us. So we designed the kitchen in such a form that there are multiple sections for each cuisine.
Okay.
And each cuisine section has a master chef heading that particular cuisine. Altogether, it's about 180 feet long, about 7,000 odd square feet long kitchen. There are restaurants which are the overall size is about 3,000 to 4,000. Our kitchen size is about 7,000, and there are about 70 odd employees who are chefs working in the kitchen, making that whole transition of every single dish coming out to be the best dish for people. We don't want people to have any dish. We want people to have the best dish. So there's a lot of processes which also come across in this entire setup, where the dish finally, when it goes out on the table, actually tastes so well that people say that in a large world cuisine format, food is still coming out to be the best cuisine, best food on.
Great. That's too much, right? I mean, that itself looks like an entire division. I have a very interesting question on that. I know it's a difficult one. Which is your favorite dish? You can only name one.
In my restaurant?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many. But there's a section in our kitchen which is called the Josper kitchen.
Okay.
Josper is a grill, which is a 300-old-year style of grilling meat products. And the USP of that grill is that, I mean, there are only 3 machines in India which are available, and Josper Grill cooks the meat products at a very short time, still retaining the juiciness and the color of the meat, and still cooking the meat. So anything from the Josper menu is my personal favorite. The tornadoes of beef with truffle mash is my personal all-time favorite.
Next time, when you are here, what to order.
Absolutely.
It's Pravesh's favorite. They can't go wrong with it. Great. Okay, I want to know another one. Byg Brewski, all right? One thing which I know about Byg Brewski, or probably which stands out a lot, is their logo.
Yes.
All right. Can you tell us more about your logo? I mean, I really want to talk about the logo.
So, a short story about the logo. So, when we started Byg Brewski, it was then called Byg Brewski. almost 4.5 years ago. And then we realized that the brand should narrate the story of the brand. And it was very difficult for us to understand how the brand narrative or how the brand story is supposed to be defined or designed so that it creates a cult in times to come. We flipped over some historical, mythological stories. We went to the Scandinavian mythology. We figured out the origin of meats and the origin of making beers was done by a noble man. His name was Byg Brewski, and along with his wife Baila, they started creating meads and brews. So the whole nation was moved by this couple, and Byg Brewski, still in the mythology of Scandinavian or Norse mythology, is the person who innovated the beer culture. So you brought the story out, and if you see the logo, which is one of the logos here, talks about the guy who is ill-mannered Viking deity of Norse mythology, has a beard which represents the hops. He's also wearing a helmet, and then there's a barley sprig on the top. So that story actually reflects the persona of us as well. We are also fearless. The persona of Byg Brewski is also fearless. That's why we have done something so fearless. And yeah, it's also a little bit of ill-mannered. We are not fine dining. We're a little casual. We want people to come out, enjoy into a casual space, have a good time. And this caters to all sorts of audience. It's not just about the elderly crowd or the youth crowd. It's from kids to elder, everybody coming here. There are different experience zones, and then they relate to the brand very well. So I think it's about a lot to do with persona of our partners, our employees, and that defines the core values of the organization.
I have a follow-up question on the logo. Probably, I mean, I'm a big fan of logos, marketing, and all of that.
Right.
But something that I have never probably seen in any industry was somebody actually getting a tattoo of their company logo. Yeah. Right? And that's something I have seen from so many employees.
Right.
Right? They have got a tattoo of the company's logo.
Right.
Now, tell me what do you feel about that? I mean, I don't think anybody can actually go and claim that.
I think that's a question we should primarily ask my employees more than me.
But what do you feel of them taking that step?
But I think if you go back to the story of why tattoos came into picture, and tattoo was not started by one particular nation, it was not started in one particular country. It was a transitory thing which happened across the globe in multiple cultural tribes. Then there was a significance of putting a permanent mark on your body, which was about bringing people into one community. Each tribe had a certain style of mark which they could tattoo, so that even if somebody is lost from the tribe, he can be sent back to the tribe. Yeah. And that happened across. I think the oldest tattoo was found on one of the mummies, which is 5,000 years old, which is in Egypt. So we did think the reality of the tattoo was about bringing a tribe together. Now I got the tattoo done, and I was the first person. Then it was Rohan, and then it was Karthik, who drive the mixology scene. And slowly we started feeling that there are certain like-mindedness in people who are doing this. And obviously the kind of ownership which the brand gives to employees, or rather the employees have it for the brand, started depicting into a culture where everybody is together. And the tribe started becoming bigger. Yeah. We neither asked the employees to go for a tattoo. We neither paid for the tattoo. It's just that people started willingly started going into that whole culture space. They're saying we are also a part of the same tribe. And now today, luckily fortunately, if you see that everybody stands for each other in this tribe. Yeah. It's not only restricted to coming at work, finishing work and going back. It has extended to the personalized environment where employees are doing something for the personal space. If somebody is feeling sick, the entire tribe goes out. There are a lot of magical moments which are happening into this organization where employees are standing and in the thick and thin and still covering the back of other employees. So there are a lot of core values. Our core values are called PQRST, which is very simplified for the set of people who work into the hospitality industry. P stands for play. So we are all into a playful environment. Q is question the status quo. Don't follow the old age rules and regulations of the industry. Do something creative. Okay. Come up with a new idea. R stands for race. So you're in a fast-paced environment, right? We don't want to sit back and laze around. We are not working in a park, so everybody works fast. And S stands for serve, which is very important. I think it's very close to my heart. Serve is not only for customers. We don't serve customers, but we also serve the society. A large chunk of our unmarketed attempts, which is still happening, is around serving the society. This Sunday, for example, early morning, we are going and taking care of certain ladies who are fostered or saved from the prostitution. They are in a NGO, and we are going and serving breakfast to them. There are opportunities when we go and do some sort of a small activity to help the specially privileged set of people, be it kids. We put our money together and donate wheelchairs. We do a lot of stuff like this, not to market. This is just to follow the core value of serve and serving the society. And T stands for togetherness. So we, in whatever situation happens, whether we fight, whether we hate each other, whether we disagree on a particular topic, we all come back together like a family. So this PQRST core values drive us together to be a part of this wonderful tribe called Byg Brewski Brewing Company.
Sweet. If you can just span there, what's with the fire?
So a lot of elements in Byg Brewski has been designed which are non-static. If you go to certain restaurants, everything is pretty static and you tend to get bored. There are opportunities when you go to a favorite bar, which is a neighborhood bar or a neighborhood restaurant. You tend to get bored seeing the same walls, same floor, similar tables. But Byg Brewski actually stands out with an element which is non-static. So a lot of natural elements like your water bodies coming in picture. Open spaces where you can feel the breeze, which can capture your senses. Then there is fire, which also is moving. So if you can sit around and see the flames that's hitting your face, you see there is something moving around. The fish ponds, for example, adds to another value because there's something moving. So till the time something is non-static, it works for you. You do not get bored with this whole thing. So these are secrets of why Byg Brewski is doing good.
I love the fire.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we have seen Byg Brewski in Sarjapur, right? And then you give us this beautiful place. Question: What about next 5 years? What do we get to see?
The next 5 years. So the beauty of this organization also is that the employees working in this company, they design the mission and the vision. So about 2 years back, we took them out for an off-site meeting, and this is the core leadership team, starting from a supervisor level to the directors. We all went out, an odd 40 odd people then. Henur was not open, and we said, where do we want to see Byg Brewski as a brand growing? And everybody started doing the calculations backwards, and they came up to a number which was agreeable by even the directors.
Okay.
Because investment has to be also pumped in. We all mutually said that we should have in the next 5 years five microbreweries of Byg Brewski, and also parallelly have another brand which is supposed to be a tap room concept, a neighborhood bar concept with 22 such of those. So today, if you see, so we also have Bob's Bar, if you know about it. The idea of Bob's Bar was to be a tap room. So as soon as the government gives us license, the kegging of the beer will also start happening. So you can also have Byg Brewski beers on taps close to your neighborhood, right? So you don't have to run all the way to Byg Brewski. So today the mission statement is about crafting experiences designed by the team itself, and the vision is about opening 5 microbreweries of Byg Brewski and 22 tap rooms of Bob's Bar. This is the next 5-year plan.
Pravesh, I must tell you, I don't know if you are ready or not, but we are definitely ready for the 5 microbreweries. We would be more than happy to, have them in our neighborhood. Great. Next, a very interesting question probably everybody has in mind.
Yeah.
This is so big that seating capacity of about 1,800 is, you say?
Yes.
1,800 people can seat at one go.
Right.
Now, just wondering, what's the number when I look at it for a month? How many people probably do we look at?
So Henur does around 52,000 people per month. And Sarjapur does about 33,000 people per month.
Wow.
So altogether about 85,000 people catered every month by the brand Byg Brewski.
Wow, 85,000.
Yes.
That's something. I have no response to that, really. Okay. My favorite. This is my favorite question, and this is something that I wanted to ask you for a very long
Sure.
time. I have seen a lot of companies' presence on social media everywhere, but I was pretty surprised and brought a huge smile on my face when I saw Byg Brewski on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Right? I think you're probably one of those standalone restaurants who's actually on a LinkedIn,
True.
A professional, career professional
Correct.
platform. Like, what was the idea behind going there?
From the restaurant perspective, doing something on LinkedIn was not to talk about people joining Byg Brewski or whatsoever. Thankfully, my attrition rate in the restaurant industry has been the lowest, and that is a big achievement for the entire team. We always celebrate this, that the attrition is highly low. LinkedIn, why? Because I think deep purpose of a lot of people working in this organization is to do something where they find something more meaningful. And over the last 2.5 years, ever since we made the core values and the mission and vision clear, we wanted to always give it back to society. And my core objective was that this industry, which has given me 20 years, I have given 20 years, and it has given me back so much that due to God's grace, I'm standing here doing something of this large scale. I wanted to give it back to society. We wanted other restaurants in the fraternity to also know what does it take to make a organization so special. As a matter of fact, it's easy to build structures. It is easy to name brands, but it is very difficult to form a core team, right? Somebody rightly said Larry Page's company, Google, has the 1/3 of their top 100 employees are still working in the company.
Yes.
They are doing something where there is some meaning to what they're doing.
Yes.
So we said our core purpose is to deliver happiness to people, and everybody in the industry, which is predominantly 90% of restaurant industry is disorganized in the country. We said, how do we showcase to the restaurant fraternity that this is also a way to go about building a team within? Eventually, it will help this industry, this fraternity to become more organized. So it's a reflection of what we are doing to the restaurant fraternity without taking any credits. Just to let them know that there is solutions to your problems if you follow through certain ways, certain processes, certain actions. So that is where we went to LinkedIn.
Awesome. Great. Okay, one last question, and this is very important for us. This is a question from the entire TED-Licious team and us. Where does the definition big stops?
The definition of big does not stop. The fact that we are all fearless, we don't think so this journey is going to end at a particular milestone. We are doing something more meaningful, and I think we will continue doing this. There is no limit to the word big. There is no word in the dictionary which can tell us that we have to stop at some point. We will continue delivering happiness. We will continue passing our kindness to people. We will continue bringing smiles to people's face. Not just smiles, we want them to laugh, right? We want them to celebrate. In the entire social structure in this society, we are succumbed to smaller places, be it smaller houses, be it smaller cars, be it traffic in the road. You really don't have too much space, right? So you go out to such large spaces, which is almost like a weekend getaway. But we said within the city limits, if we can do something which is like a weekend getaway, you come and you relax and you connect together. How beautiful that can be.
Absolutely.
Right? So we are doing something in a particular restaurants. There is a section in the restaurant we are creating called Mobile Free Zone, where we give them discounts to people who are actually locking their mobile and not using it for 2 hours or 3 hours.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once again, thanks a lot, Pravesh.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Thanks.
letting us
Thanks.
inside.
Thank
Byg.
you. Thank you.
And if you guys haven't been here, you should.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to all of you guys. And thank you for considering Byg Brewski and giving us an opportunity to be there. Thank you. Love all. Take care.
Cheers.
Cheers.